find everybody else doing the same.
Yes.
KTN, NTV. Yes, and certainly it's being pointed out to me, even with Nollywood. Do you not think that rather than legislating, the establishment of good practice trickles down and spreads out into the market? Why legislate against it and open yourself up to the possibility of a lawsuit or a 20 million shilling fine that you have now enshrined in the law?
My defense of that before Macharia speaks is this. People have been attuned to certain tests over time. They've been fed on foreign content. They've gotten that appetite. You have to, if you have to do a turn in the national interest and to groom local industry and create jobs, you'll have to take affirmative action, which is why I support some legislative measures to ensure we take that direction. To win off this, viewership to Hollywood and so forth will take a time.
What about music? What about music?
It's the same as saying, for example, why did we have provision for affirmative action in our constitution? So you have to have 2/3 of gender, but no. Of course, other corporations were putting even 2/3 women and 1/3 men.
Okay, I'm told we have just 10 minutes left.
So sometimes a bit of persuasion through law can help achieve better results.
Okay.
Why are we doing that?
I think that is good law, and really Kenyans need to support it. And my view is that once we get to implementing that law, we have a lot of talented young Kenyans.
Would you do that for music also? Because our radios are full of crap from America. Will you do
that is a tall order, because of course I can download music from the internet and all sorts of things.
But you can also download for
radio. Yeah, but not for
broadcasting. Why is this not so? Okay. In fact, that should apply to audio as well.
Since we have established that principle, then obviously the next thing would be to require that all our movie houses screen local content. That the cars we drive
are local
made. The suits we wear. No, the principle is established.
Yes.
So let's take it to its logical
conclusion. One step at a time.
We should not buy.
I said supermarkets should.
One step,
and we should not buy music from China.
One step at a time. It's a
what we're saying.
It's a long journey.
Is
discriminatory.
No, it's a long journey. We have started it.
Of course, the media has to be the starting point.
We have started it, Mutegi. Then let's continue building on it.
I remember a conversation I had with one time many years ago, a person whose name I will not mention. He was the chairman of the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, and he was on and on and on about fighting mitumba, saying Kenyans should wear local clothes, we should build our capacity, kick out all the mitumba. And I wrote a column saying, this guy, he's one of our most prominent businessmen. I can bet everything he is wearing, from his socks to his underwear, is imported.
And designer.
And I met him and he agreed, yes, it is imported because Kenyan factories are not able to make it to his quality. So what he is saying is that the poor Kenyan man who cannot afford to buy designer clothes should wear poor quality local made clothes, but because he cannot be allowed to wear imported clothes. But the big man who cannot afford to wear designer clothes is free to do so because the local manufacturers cannot meet his standards.
But Mheshimiwa, there was a matter of advertising, which I think is very crucial and controversial. Why did you find it necessary that you have to limit foreign advertising on media? I find that very intrusive.
Is it?
Yes, because I mean, we on one hand we are promoting media stability. But unless the media get enough income, they can't perform, they can't do the work, they'll collapse. And then here you come with a razor and say you will not put foreign advertising, only a maximum of 15%. Why was that necessary?
No, it's 55%, not 50.
Yes, 55%.
55%. Yeah. That again is the same. Like I told you. Why would Coke have to do the advert in South Africa and bring it here? Can they use local people to do it here?
Did you take that
what informed
global brands do global advertising?
Not even that. Yes. If you look at billboards on the street, they're not meant in Nairobi. The billboards that you see advertising things, they're done in South Africa, they're done in Dubai.
Well, anyway, like I said, we have to start from somewhere. What the intention is very clear.
What
We
is
want to
advertising?
build.
I'm talking about
we want to
advertising.
build
What is the
our
intention?
home, the industry. We want to give capacity to our people. We believe that where Kenya is at the moment, we have people who can do these things, and we don't have to get everything from outside.
But there's something called attracting foreign investors, making our country a destination for people to come and do business.
They have
without
the
too many
55%.
restrictions, without too many restrictions.
They have the
And then
55%.
secondly, what Mutegi is talking about, international brands or companies do one-off advertising, generate ads
Universal.
once that run universally. If you say you have to do a Coca-Cola ad in Nairobi, Coca-Cola is not a Kenyan brand for all we care. I mean, it's here, invested here, but it's a foreign brand.
Makali, all economies
And then the problem,
protect their
if I
own.
may finish, you're not punishing the manufacturer of the
All
ad.
economies protect their own. And
Agreed.
if you
Agreed.
if you want to take a direction where you are not concerned about protecting your own,
So
Agreed.
why
The
the
problem is-
the advertising and not Coca-Cola, the product?
Yes, that's the problem. You are punishing the media that is using an ad, which is going to earn money from the same Coca-Cola, by restricting them on what they should actually place there. In fact, you are cutting one hand and supporting the other.
but we have given them 55%. It's only 45%.
Okay, we have 3 minutes to go.
Macharia is asking why Coca-Cola? Why allow Coca-Cola to come in?
That
why,
was just an example.
Why allow toothpick from China?
That's why I said we still have a problem, and I explained it that we still have a problem. We have even had Chinese hawkers in this country. It's a problem with the authorities. You even saw what happened with Westgate. There was a problem at immigration. There's a problem at customs. This is a much bigger problem. But I think in spite of there being a lot of these problems, surely we have to start somewhere.
By gagging
care
the,
that
gag the
Kenyan-
media.
No.
Okay.
I don't think
Gagging
so.
the media.
You must be
Okay,
careful
a
that,
couple of
you don't
thoughts
get,
before we go. Where is the diversity when all stations air Spanish soap operas at the same time, 7 days a week? David from Nairobi, supporting your local
Thank you.
content. But from Peter, the new media law is obviously retrogressive. It's not made for good at all. What our MPs are forgetting is that this law will haunt them later. Let us focus on development and stop joking with infringement of freedoms. How many bills have been passed to reprimand bogus contractors? Why is it that the government needs to hide things, and when the media exposes them, it's not a responsibility, as at Westgate? Why were some soldiers sacked and jailed if somebody wasn't responsible? But then there was someone actually, David, who reminded us that you spent time in jail in service of your profession. And so, yes, morning, Cheche. Makali was locked up and taken to court during the Kanu era. Engineer Gumbo, journalism is a profession like any other. Please do not agitate to gag the media, because journalists are like a river which provide water to humans, nature and animals. Mr. Gaitho, please continue to stand with the media. And that came from Molly in Keroka. And so several thoughts there. How does increasing quotas improve the quality of programs? We just don't want many Kenyan faces on TV pranking others, rather insightful shows on all topics. And that came from Leon in Bungoma.
I think our local productions are very good, by the way. And in fact, what informed that that law is that it's so encouraging to see what is happening. And I must commend Citizen. Do you know there was a time, by the way, I will not name names, there was a local TV station. When a reporter would go out there and report in Kiswahili, they would translate it into English. That was a long time ago. But Citizen came, and with their local production, they have changed the game. Everybody has realized either if you don't join them, you are left behind. And that is why perhaps, I do not know about the ratings, but I should think you are up there among, and believe it or not,
Far
part
ahead.
of the reason that you are way ahead of the others is because of local production.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
We're winding up. Mr. Gaitho, any final thoughts?
Yes, I think we just have to be very, 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 very cautious, because it is not the media under threat. It is democracy under threat. We know from history, especially African history, that every time a regime wants to gag the people, it starts by gagging the media. As simple as that.
David, any final thoughts?
Well, no, I don't think that there are good things in the bill, but we need to seal those loopholes which will allow the media to be vulnerable to state manipulation or to strangulation economically by heavy fines and restrictions on on advertising and content.
All right. Mutegi?
I think the members of parliament should realize that they're not live members of parliament. Sometimes they'll come to us.
Well, I know that better than you.
Yes.
What I can tell you is that, like Macharia said, there are a lot of good things in that bill. There are maybe one or two things that are contentious.
Several things that are contentious.
Yeah, that are contentious.
Why did you
But
allow them
please,
then?
instead of, because what we have been subjected to as the committee and even the institution of parliament
Said mob
is nothing akin to, is akin to mob lynching. Let us come, Macharia, what I can tell you as the Editors Guild, please come, let us reason together. These things are not cast in stone. It's a back and forth movement. Laws are made here in the country. We'll find a solution.
We will-
You seem to want to respond
Yes,
to that.
we will be happy to sit down and talk and reason together. But then, of course, once we have talked and reasoned together and agreed on a bill, let it not be mutilated once it goes back to Parliament.
And placed on the conveyor belt and left to the mercy and discretion of the
We will
president.
reason together and find a solution. This
Okay.
country belongs to all of us, the media, the politicians, the common people, the voters, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so I have to end Cheche there with thanks to the Honorable Nicholas Gumbo, a member of the Committee on Information, Communication and Energy, as well as Macharia Gaitho, columnist and the chair of the Kenya Editors Guild, for making your time for us here on Cheche today, as well as to the panel of Mutegi Njau and David Makali. I'll also thank you for watching, engaging, sending us your messages, sharing your thoughts and opinions. My name is Udwa Kamimo. I'll see you next week.